is doing a lot of work in the lives of the students at CTK. I think with my group specifically, there's a lot of work that he's doing. I think the relationship that he's building with them is becoming more personal rather than something they've had with that family.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of risk to follow Jesus right now for this generation. And so I think it's been really cool to watch some of the students really making their faith their own and stepping out into that without reserve. I think it's really speaks to the authenticity of their faith and the foundation that they've grown up in.
Like, our generation is so lonely. And so, yeah, that's why youth group is so important, is Christ-centered fellowship draws us nearer to God, who is a very personal and loving God that loves to connect with his children.
A lot of times we can think about student ministry as constantly pouring into our students, right? And that's absolutely what we're doing as a church. As leaders, we want to pour into our students, to fill them up, to disciple them. But what's really interesting and surprising sometimes, as the youth director even, is that these students will also pour into others as soon as you're pouring into them.
And so connecting with each other is so important. That is just lost in our generation and prevents us from being vulnerable with each other, which is so important because we have a God that is so vulnerable and real with us.
I think I'm in a very unique position to try to understand what God is doing in the lives of these students, because I've been doing this for almost 4 years now. I've been able to see my guys come in from the very beginning of middle school and just watch them mature, not only as young men, but also in their understanding of who God is.
The main thing I learned is that God is our great provider, and that even in times that we don't think he's providing enough or providing at all, that even in that moment when we think like God might not be there, say, everything is part of God's master plan.
Yeah, I think that it's been really cool to watch the students, especially my high school girls, ask theological questions that really demonstrates that they want to make their faith their own and they don't want to just step into their parents' faith blindly. It just makes it more real. Like, they're not just going to accept or believe in something just because everyone else is doing it. They really truly want to know what they believe and have the words to back up what they believe.
We don't want our student ministry to just be kind of off and siloed at our church. As we view our students as the current church, we want to encourage them and challenge them to own Christ not only in their own hearts, but really see themselves as part of the broader church, right? How can they come to serve the church? How can they come to engage in the full community of the church?
I feel like it's prepared me for the future really, really well in trying to keep my faith alive, because adulthood is kind of scary. And you think about all these things that you're going to have to do at some point, and it's really overwhelming, but it's also helping you keep the centered view of what everything revolves around. And that's God.